Good morning. Bonjour. Guten Morgen. Buongiorno. And welcome to Apple's Developers Conference. My name is Guerrino de Luca. Maybe you can guess which one of those languages was my native one. Maybe not. And I have the pleasure to be the MC for this conference. Just a little background on myself. I was with Apple for 6 years. I've been working as a marketing manager in Apple Italy. Then I spent 5 years at Apple Europe as the director of marketing for Apple Europe in Paris. And since a couple of months, I'm working up the road in Cupertino. So part of my responsibilities as the head of marketing for AppleSoft is managing developer technical support, developer university, evangelism, and developer tools product marketing, which gives me a constant pulse on the developers community and also helps me in another of my responsibilities, which is to understand your needs, your business challenges, your expectation, and help Apple respond to them. So I'm proud to represent you within Apple. For me personally, this Developers Conference is a unique opportunity to learn more about you, and I really look forward to it. This is our 7th Worldwide Developers Conference. It's the largest event that Apple holds worldwide, and in many ways, it is the most important event. Certainly one thing I know is that your software, your hardware, your solutions is what makes our customers purchase our products. So whether you are an independent software vendor, a consultant, a system integrator, a VAR, I want to thank you for the hard work, the commitment, the creativity you've shown in the last 12 months as an Apple developer. You have done a great job in a very turbulent year and a year of many changes. But I think you're helping to set the stage for what appears to be the most exciting couple of years that we will see since the start of Macintosh. Now, I think you've heard many MCs in these conferences saying that. You know, the fact is that it's true. This industry moves very fast. Customers' demands are changing. Innovation is coming. Maturing and emerging technologies play with one another. And I do believe that we are at the turning point. Actually, I see more opportunities for you and us in the coming years that I have since a long time. And that's what this conference is all about. Let me talk about the conference a little bit. First of all, who's here? Well, there's a lot of you here. More than 3,000 of you are here. We have more people from more countries in this conference than ever before in the history of worldwide developer conferences. Actually, we have many first-time developers as well. I wonder whether you can spot some of them in the audience. We'll have a prize for those of you that can. Actually, I really look forward to see their applications. I don't know what they're going to do. We have 3 major objectives in this conference. First and foremost, give you all the technical details. You know, we are going to lay out the picture of where Apple is going with its systems and go deep and deep in the technical aspects of that. I hear that at the last Developers Conference there was a strong request to increase the technical content of the conference. We have done so. Irrespective of the fact that your MC is a marketing guy. The second objective is to highlight the business opportunities in front of us with Macintosh, Newton, the workgroup servers, the desktop, the transition to PowerPC, and Apple's aggressive market share strategy as well as its strategy to attract customers from different platforms will give us a number of those opportunities, and we'll talk about that as well. And third, and very important, we really want you to leave this conference enthusiastic. Enthusiastic that the industry is opening up, and you will see in many directions. Enthusiastic because there is increased demand for your creativity and lower cost to bring innovation to market. And finally, we want you to leave the conference being convinced that it is rewarding to be an Apple developer. More than 500 Apple people have worked to make this conference happen. The structure of the conference is around a few major topics, such as OpenDoc, the future of the Macintosh operating system, tools, and an Apple executive will kick off each of these topics every day, and then we will have the nuts and bolts of every of those into more than 120 technical breakout sessions. In order to help you go through the week, we have grouped these sessions around three major groupings. The first grouping is focusing on APIs and focusing on the technical aspects specifically of what we are introducing. The second grouping is dedicated to solution providers, VARs, system integrators, and consultants, and in-house developers. And the third grouping is focusing on the people that don't write code and focusing specifically on business and marketing aspects. I believe that the agenda that you have picked up this morning with your badge shows clearly which is which and would help you go through the week. There's more than speakers and sessions to the conference. There is a major expo as every year, but this year is bigger than ever. We have more than 100 exhibitors, and we were showing development tools as well as other products. So I encourage you to take some time and visit the expo. We wanted to make sure that there is fun in this conference, so I'm happy to announce to you that video games are back. And we will also have a huge slot car racing track at our Thursday party. We have built in the conference program a number of feedback sessions so that we can hear you as well as talk to you. You may have noticed that there is a full-blown messaging system, PowerTalk based, throughout the halls. It will help you to keep in touch with your colleagues in the conference as well as with your beloved ones. Internationally, it is connected to Apple Link as well as the internet. Feel free to use it. You have your own password in your badge. Looks like it's going to be well received. And finally, we will have a prize, a power book that will be awarded at the end of the last session on Friday. A couple of additional housekeeping. You may start worrying about food, although it's only 8:35. We'll have lunch available in the Big Top tent every day from 11:30 to 2:30. It will be served continuously, so if you encounter some wait, please come back a little later. And second, the reception tonight will be from 6:30 to 9:30 in the Worldwide Developers Conference Expo Pavilion. With that, let me officially kickstart the conference, and I think that no one better than Dave Nagel, AppleSoft General Manager and Apple Senior Vice President, will help us to put this WWDC in context. Now, Dave has a number of scientific and technical achievements in his careers at Apple. He's the member of the executive management team. As such, he sets the stage and sets the strategies, especially the technical strategy for the entire company. He's the member of the board for Kaleida Intelligent, and he's the head of AppleSoft. As such, he drives Macintosh system software and Apple software business forward and oversees our longer-term research in enabling technology. With that, please welcome my boss, Senior Vice President of Apple Computer, Dave Nagel. Okay.
Thanks very much. Thanks, Guerrino, and welcome all of you to the Worldwide Developers Conference. It's really great to see a lot of old friends. Notice some coming in. But I'm also really excited that there are so many new people here. The folks that did orientation last night told us that there were something like 300 or 400 people here, and 90% or so, rough order of magnitude, said that this was their first Worldwide Developer Conference. And about half of those said they were from places outside the United States. So welcome to all of you. I hope it's really a great conference for you. For the AppleSoft division, the Developers Conference is the defining event of the year. And while we all meet separately in other groupings quite often, this conference not only sets the tone for the coming year, but also serves as a report card for our performance in the current year. So today in the May of 1994, it's with great enthusiasm and I must confess a little nervousness that we approach you at the end of a very dramatic and challenging 12 months. Challenging for all of us, but I think also on the crest of a year that appears filled with new opportunities. We've all made it through one of the wildest periods in the industry, not known for its tameness. And Apple's come through it not only with a stronger market position, but also with a solid strategy that will lead to greater business opportunities for all of us. So after the last year, I think this much is very clear. If there are any remaining questions about Apple's commitment to making the tough decisions needed for market growth, those questions are naive. And if there are any questions about Apple's commitment to make our platform more attractive to you and to our customers, those questions are uninformed. And if there are any questions about Apple's understanding we're all working, moving, and developing as one extended family, the questions are simply misplaced. Simply put, we're committed to turning the Apple platforms from Macintosh to servers to Newtons into platforms that deliver innovation, market opportunity to you, the developers, and that deliver fully on the promise of technology. And if anybody thinks that we're going to pause for one moment and let a platform based on inferior technology take over this industry without a fight, they're in for a big shock. Now, over the next 60 minutes, I'm going to review with you not only the developments of the last year, but also our plans for delivering a platform that expands your business opportunities and delivers new value to our shared customers. In reviewing the year, I want to describe what we've done to increase market share for the Macintosh platform, how we're doing in delivering the development tools that you need, how we're doing in delivering cross-platform APIs, and how we'll make the transitions to new software easy for you, or at least as easy as we can, and easy for our customers. Apple's market share strategy in the last year moved forward on three fronts: Power Macintosh, more competitive pricing, and systems with more value built in. The result? We're pulling off a smooth transition to next-generation systems, we're attracting new users, and we're giving our install base even more reason to move up the line. Let's start with Power Macintosh. The introduction of these systems has put Apple for the first time in the position of the industry's price-performance leader. In independent studies, Power Macintosh systems are smoking comparably equipped Pentium systems, which produce, I understand, a little smoke themselves from time to time. Recently, Ingram Laboratories ran a total of 25 tests comparing Power Macs with Pentium systems, incorporating 4 computation-intensive applications, and reported the following results. The Power Mac 8100 outperformed a 66 megahertz Pentium system by an average of more than 50%. The 7100 outperformed the comparable Pentium system by an average of nearly 40%. And the 6100 outperformed the 66 megahertz Pentium system by an average of 5% and beat a 60 megahertz Pentium computer by an average of almost 25%. And on that last test, they also reported that not only is the 6100 25% faster, but it costs at least $1,000 less than a comparable 60 megahertz system, which has forced our competitive systems vendors and their chip supplier to focus on futures when asked to compare themselves to Macintosh today. And I'm only describing the first implementation of the Power Macintosh based on the PowerPC 601 chip. In the future, the performance levels will continue to climb even higher with the advent of the follow-on chips to the 601, such as the recently announced 604, and I can tell you there are a lot more to come. So I must confess, it brings me a certain amount of amusement to watch the representatives from our friends in Santa Clara squirming around attempting to recruit people into the microprocessor version of the Flat Earth Society. Now, as we promised, backward compatibility with existing Mac apps is excellent. It's no hassle for people to move up to Power Mac. And DOS Windows emulation through Insignia's Soft Windows is offering acceptable performance for those people who must have a few DOS and Windows apps with them. And this will continue to improve with extended mode emulation, audio-visual integration, and faster PowerPC chips. But ultimately, people don't buy a Power Macintosh to run the Finder faster or run DOS apps. They buy a Power Macintosh to run the exceptional native applications the people in this room have and are developing. So let me send my thanks and congratulations to all of you who have brought to market more than 80 native applications, 80 now available, and encouragement to the hundreds of you who have native apps on the way. Now, as you know, the early acceptance of the systems, more than 145,000 sold in the first 3 weeks of availability, is extremely encouraging. And we're well on our way to a predicted sales, 12-month sales, of 1 million units. But what's even more encouraging are signs that our efforts to attract what we call fence setters, or people that always have had the inclination to Mac but didn't purchase due to price, performance, or compatibility. These people are giving Power Macs a very close look and starting to sign up. Notable big corporate wins already include mixed environment companies such as the British Broadcasting System and the Holiday Inn, and there are many more to be announced soon. Simply put, the Power Macintosh is going to bring a lot of new people into the Macintosh camp as it dismantles in one fell swoop the historic obstacles of price, performance, and compatibility. But Macintosh market share gains are continuing in other parts of the family as well. As you know, we believe that for some time the 68K will be the platform of choice for many of our customers. And in fact, in 1995, we expect 68K systems to still be the highest percentage of our business. So we'll continue to add new value and get even more price competitive in this part of the line. We'll continue to add AV technology across the line and not just at the mid-range and high-end. And we'll continue to bring value to the PowerBook line. The introduction today of the new PowerBook systems with stunning new industrial design and notable improvements in feature set and battery life reestablishes our leadership in the fastest growing part of the market. And in fact, the PowerBook that Guerrino mentioned we'll be giving away is one of the new 500 series. Our Duo systems are already the fastest selling sub-notebooks in the industry. So we continue to accelerate our momentum in the consumer market. The Performa line is literally on fire. Performa holiday sales tripled in 1993, and we look forward to capturing the interest of lots of first-time buyers in the coming months. Now, our market share gains are happening around the world. We're number 2 in Japan, one of the world's largest and fastest growing markets. Number 2 from number nothing 5 years ago. Our ease of localization based on WorldScript is giving us a huge advantage here, and QuickDraw GX will extend that advantage with the world's best 2-byte font system. Japan is also instructive, we believe, for how we'll fare in the emerging markets, where the DOS Windows side of the house hasn't already established market dominance. When we start from the same place, we do better than DOS and Windows. So the lessons of Japan bode well for our efforts in other emerging markets, such as the Far East and Latin America. Now let's look at how we're doing in the area of development tools. Now, last year you asked for development tools native on the PowerPC. You asked for color and HyperCard, and you also let us know you wanted Apple to offer first-rate component software to help you accelerate the development process and deliver innovation on multiple platforms. You asked as well for a cross-platform application development environment that would make it easy for you to take advantage of the latest Macintosh technology in your applications. So what's the report card? Well, we spent the last 12 months working to ensure that you have native PowerPC tools, and they include choice. This week, version 1 of Apple's Macintosh on RISC Software Developers Kit became available in final form. We recognized at the outset we couldn't do it all alone, so we've also partnered with third parties, sharing technologies to ensure the right tools are available. So you can or you will be able to select native PowerPC development tools from Apple, but also from MetroWorks, Symantec, AppleSoft, Language Systems, and others to come. We began shipping the enhanced HyperCard 2.2 in December, and I gather it's meeting at least some of your expectations because it's selling very well. and we're receiving some very positive feedback. We'll also tell you this week about the wonders of the OpenDoc component software architecture, which we began speaking to you about last year as Amber, and which is now under the custodianship of CI Labs, a group of industry leaders including IBM, Novell, and WordPerfect that aims to ensure that OpenDoc remains open, interoperable, and ecumenical, meaning universal, not religious. I'll talk more about OpenDoc in a few minutes, but let me just say now that I think OpenDoc is going to mean for system software what PowerPC means to the hardware part of our platform. The combination will power all of us in this room into the next era of personal computing. Now, in the area of cross-platform support, we took a significant course correction from what we said last year. My marketing folks keep reminding me. Last year at this time, we were focusing on Bedrock, which was being jointly developed by Apple and Symantec. Since then, we concluded that the only way to build a sustainable cross-platform framework that can quickly incorporate new tools is to base it on OpenDoc. And we'll be talking to you this week about the OpenDoc Parts Framework, or OPF, which we are confident is the right decision for results over the long term. So yes, Bedrock has become the OpenDoc Parts Framework, and you'll hear more about it this week. We're also incorporating OpenDoc support into our Mac app framework and working with other vendors on other development frameworks. So Ike Nasty is going to fill you in on all that, so make sure you attend Ike's keynote on Wednesday. Bottom line is that we aim to provide you with choice, breakthroughs in productivity, and cross-platform development environments. Now, I doubt you've forgotten, and I wish I could, that I stood up here last year and committed to the delivery of our APIs on other platforms. And while I remain committed to that declaration, but it turned out to be a much more complex set of issues than I understood at the time from a business and deployment standpoint and from a technology standpoint. So I stand here today about as contrite as I can get, but also convinced that by the end of this week you will agree, I think, that Apple, along with other PC industry leaders, now has a credible mechanism through the OpenDoc component architecture to deliver new, differentiating technologies on the Macintosh and on other platforms such as Windows, Unix, and OS/2. Let's talk for a moment about transitions. Once we began shipping the Power Mac, I think it finally became clear just how important compatibility has been in the development of these new systems. Our top priority was to ensure that our mutual customers would not suffer disruption in the transition from 68K to Power Macintosh. Equally important has been our goal to make sure that our porting efforts would be minimized. And if you haven't begun porting to the Power Macintosh, talk with those who have. I think most will tell you the experience has been a fairly pleasant one. Now, another part of a strategy to ease transitions is to pace the releases of system software so that developers and customers can breathe in between upgrades. We continue the emphasis on easy transition with our upcoming release of system software, System 7.5. It's easy for you to support, adopting the APIs that make sense for your business. And in fact, we're designing all of our APIs these days to reflect sort of an 80-20 rule. Supporting 20% of the APIs will provide 80% of the value in innovation. System 7.5 will be shipped on all of Apple's hardware systems, including 68K Macs and Power Macs, and it's designed to avoid disruption for the customer. I don't think Windows customers or developers will have the same experience with whatever Chicago ends up being. But we expect the biggest breakthrough in easy transitions will come with OpenDoc. You'll be able to take advantage of OpenDoc in stages if you prefer, and by migrating your software to OpenDoc, you'll be ready to adopt new Apple technologies and technologies from a wide variety of players and move with us to a new, more modern architecture. So let me underscore some key elements of Apple's corporate directions. First, we're committed to our market share strategy, and we see strong evidence of its success moving forward. Apple, along with you and the community of Macintosh developers, will clearly lead the industry into the next generation of personal computing. We'll do it together through open innovation and through partnerships. and will expand beyond current markets into the Pacific and other emerging markets. And we invite you to do that with us together. All of these factors will lead to better business opportunities for you. I'd like now to turn to what will be the hallmarks of Apple systems and provide you with a short overview of the system software strategy that will ensure our leadership in personal computing through sustainable differentiation of our platform. Now first, what we intend to be known for. With the advantages provided by the PowerPC Foundation, Macintosh will be the price-performance leader in personal computing and will remain distinct in 4 other key areas: graphics and multimedia, collaboration platforms, the user interface, and component-based solutions. Our strategy is based on 4 breakthroughs in technology, breakthroughs that I think will change the landscape of computing in the 1990s. Conventionally designed microprocessors will be replaced by new and more efficient architectures. Simply put, CISC is at the end of the road and RISC is the future. Component software technology also represents a breakthrough in personal computing technology, one that will provide the most significant impact on the use of personal computers, I believe, since Apple brought the graphical user interface to market. Combining human interface and multimedia technologies with high-speed wide-area networking will fundamentally change the nature of networking and will amplify its importance enormously. The networks will no longer simply be pipes for data. They will be platforms on which people will be able to work together and gain access to the world's information and the world's knowledge. These new networks will change all of our lives forever. Now, with the power of RISC and the architectural foundations of System 7, System Software Family, the personal computer will no longer be a passive tool. With these foundations and the new UI technologies we are developing, the personal computer will become an active partner, helping users to do their jobs and making them more productive. And in time, this new relationship between people and their tools will attract the industry, just like the Macintosh pointed the way a decade ago. Now, these technology transitions are really not about technology, but about customer benefits. With the move to RISC, it's about price performance, entirely new applications, and a better path to productivity. Component software will mean faster development of customized and shrink-wrap solutions, interoperability, and even a simpler user interface, all of which will improve customer productivity and reduce customer costs. The new networking technologies will enable more effective and efficient teams. Again, improvements in productivity for individuals and organizations. And with active assistance, Apple will turn that easy-to-use interface into an assistant that actually does things for the user. Automation, intelligence, ease of doing. Now, the economics of the 90s will be about productivity and will be propelled by the kinds of changes I've described. I think our industry will provide significant productivity gains for the first time to our customers. And this, in turn, will allow all of us to be successful as solution providers. Our systems will deliver real value. Now, Apple will take advantage of these breakthroughs using a standout and fit-in strategy. Our business strategy has always emphasized differentiation. We'll continue to provide a differentiated product that performs significantly better than the competition. But we'll also design our systems so they better fit in mixed computing environments, which really characterize the vast majority of computing systems in use today. So what do we mean by fit in? Well, first, application compatibility. With the computing power of RISC, emulation has become a powerful and useful tool for providing near universal application compatibility. RISC platforms are fast enough that applications written for the 68K and the x86 processors will execute at acceptable speeds. And as the chips improve, so too will the performance. The emulators will continue to become faster. Now, second, our systems will fit in with diverse network systems. Networking compatibility will mean that you as developers will no longer have to worry about what network technology and protocol are being used as you write your apps. And customers will also enjoy a unified and seamless experience as networks evolve. By interoperability, we mean the ability to exchange information in structured forms easily between different platforms. And for starters, we'll integrate Easy Open and Mac PC Exchange, as we'll show you in a second, into our next system software release, System 7.5. OpenDoc OLE interoperability will mean that parts written to the OpenDoc specification will work in OLE-enabled applications, and vice versa. The net of all these steps will be to remove virtually all of the barriers that have kept non-Mac buyers from considering our systems. But fitting in is not enough. Apple-branded systems will continue to be differentiated relative to Intel-based hardware. RISC is a better technology today, and that lead will increase over the next several years. Intel will have to make the transition to RISC, despite the billboards. The big questions are when and how. Simply put, the future will be written on RISC-based personal computers. And as it now looks, that computer will be a Macintosh for a long time. It won't be running Chicago or other operating systems that are tied to CISC technology. Now, with the Power Macintosh, Apple is the only mainstream RISC-based personal computer. He said he was smoking. A personal computer with an operating system that's designed in ease of use and thousands of applications available right now, and a growing stable of applications optimized to take specific advantage of the Power Mac system's performance and other capabilities. The principal competing platform, an Intel-based PC running DOS or Windows, simply is not running on RISC and will not keep up in performance. But ultimately, what's important about RISC is how it will enable totally new types of applications, interfaces, and ways of using a computer. The exceptional power of the chip breaks the development bottleneck and allows developers and vendors to create systems that let people do fundamentally new things. Now, certainly video conferencing and multimedia come to mind, but as we look ahead with our developers, we see the promise of active agents, invisible interfaces, and stunning new graphics capabilities, all enabled by RISC. Now let me turn to the crucial issue of component software. One of the most frustrating characteristics of current personal computer software applications is what I call feature creep. Each time an enhanced version of the application is available, it's loaded with more features. The downside is that it's significantly larger and more unwieldy and takes up valuable disk space and memory, and the lion's share of those new features are either too difficult for most of us to learn or they aren't that necessary to begin with. My first Mac productivity applications, which I bought in the mid-'80s, or maybe they gave them to me, were tiny by today's standards. But in fact, they did a lot of what I need to do today. But many of these applications have become enormous. And in many cases, the utility of the new apps has not kept pace with the enormity of them. But with component software, developers can create software that's modular, and therefore can be mixed and matched to address specific individual or organizational needs. Customers, of course, will benefit because they can now buy just what they want, and the size of their applications will stay manageable. But this approach solves many developer issues that benefit customers as well. First, it's easier for developers, both commercial and in-house developers, and system integrators and VARs, to create and maintain software that's tailored for specific solutions. True component software, such as OpenDoc, will also provide for compatibility among applications between different vendors and across a variety of computer platforms. This means that computer users can share information with one another, regardless of whether they have the same applications. They can create a personalized suite of applications from software from different vendors and know that it will all work together. And because we share a common vision, we are developing our component software to fully interoperate with Taligent's object-oriented enterprise environment. Now, like any technology-driven product, whether it's a car, VCR, or personal computer, the process of using the tool sometimes overshadows the purpose in using it. With the easiest of software, the focus is still on the application and not the document you're trying to create. You open an application to create a document. But if you want to add graphics, for example, to a text document, you have to open a new application, create the graphics, copy that, and then go back to the original application to paste the graphics in with the text. With OpenDoc, you'll open a document that can contain any kind of information: text, spreadsheet tables, graphics, animation, sound, and edit each kind of information. A simple click of the mouse will bring the application or editing tools to the screen almost imperceptibly. And each type of information can be linked to each other type, and time-varying components can run concurrently because OpenDoc supports multitask applications. Because it's so easy to bring components from different vendors together and to support multiple platforms, OpenDoc will enable solution providers to create custom solutions geared to the specific needs of their customers with a minimum of effort. Now, one key benefit with OpenDoc is consistent with our commitment to customer value and painless adoption of new functionality. As new OpenDoc compliant components are introduced, they will be usable by other OpenDoc software immediately without modification. So if you see a whizzy new project scheduling component come to the market, you can drop it into your OpenDoc solution and it will work with your existing components. Now at Apple, we're also going to use OpenDoc to deliver new system functionality, such as three-dimensional graphics, so that we can offer new services without having to retest and reintroduce the entire OS. And this means you can use our new services more quickly and more easily. OpenDoc is simply a better approach to component software than the competition. Now I think you're going to detect over the course of the conference that we're thrilled with the momentum that's already been achieved with OpenDoc. And you might even detect a little disgruntlement and perhaps a bit of smoke and snorting from our friends elsewhere in the industry, who will be trying to convince you that their proprietary integration services built into their Office application suite is similar to OpenDoc, maybe even superior. But there are several fundamental differences that you should remember. First, as the name implies, OpenDoc is open, truly open from the start. No one vendor controls the OpenDoc specification, and the source code is available to all developers. You can be assured that you will have a seamless interoperability across multiple platforms with all OpenDoc compliant software. And you'll be able to see in the code just how we're assuring that. So when you hear the word open, take a careful look at how the term is being used. If one vendor controls a standard, it ain't open. Now, thanks to the expertise of IBM, WordPerfect, and Novell, OpenDoc is designed for a network environment from the start, as opposed to the desktop-based integration of Olay. And because part of Apple's participation in CI Labs is the contribution of the Open Scripting Architecture, or OSA, solution providers will be able to automate their solutions using multiple parts and multiple OSA-compatible scripting languages, AppleScript and Frontier among them, and not just with scripting languages from a single vendor. And the user experience of OpenDoc is so superior that it's like comparing, say, Macintosh to what? Windows to Chicago, perhaps. With OpenDoc, multiple components can overlap, use any shape needed, and run concurrently. Activating a part occurs almost immediately, so the performance is outstanding. And because OpenDoc is being developed by industry leaders on different platforms, Apple on Mac, WordPerfect on Windows, Sun and IBM on Unix, the user experience will be consistent with that particular platform. Let's talk about collaboration. Gee, this first slides are great. Apple has a unique approach to collaboration. It has to do with focusing on the individual as an individual or as a member of a number of teams, each with its own objectives, culture, and methods for collaboration. And unlike groupware, in which the team imposes a certain structure on collaboration on the individual, Apple's approach is to provide the individual with choice. They're scurrying in from the gates here to try to fix it. And an easy gateway to the world that's integrated into the work that they're doing. As with OpenDoc, the emphasis has been allowing the individual to focus on the work and not have to search out different communications products and protocols to work with others. Now, with networks of all kinds being deployed around the world, we can say that the underpinnings are in place for people to collaborate, even when separated by distance or time. The next step, which is where Apple has a tremendous lead, is making it possible for the individual to take advantage of the communications infrastructure with a rich and flexible interface that provides the ability to easily access and share all kinds of information and communicate with one another easily and naturally, using not just voice, but also video conferencing and other forms of real-time collaboration. We'll soon be moving forward from store and forward collaboration systems to those that support real-time interaction. Apple's approach to collaboration is a key differentiator for the Macintosh platform and will give our customers a competitive edge into the 21st century. Of course, Macintosh has always led the way in making computers easy to use. We believe that by keeping the PC as natural as possible, we can allow our customers to focus on what they want to do, not on how to use the computer. Our success was borne out by an Arthur D. Little study that measured user productivity as far superior for Macintosh users over Windows users. Macintosh users were able to get their work done in 44% less time than Windows users, and the quality of the completed work was superior. 85% of the tasks were done correctly by Mac users, as opposed to 58% of the tasks for Windows users. But we can't stop there. We know that for as long as we talk about ease of use, we're still focusing on operating the machine itself. We want our customers to focus on the actual doing of their own work. Now, the next major steps in this move toward active assistance occur with System 7.5, due this summer, with intelligent interactive help of Apple Guide and integrating AppleScript automation into the Finder, as well as scriptable applications. Now, with QuickDraw GX, print management is significantly enhanced with desktop printers, and portable documents are a great boon to those who need to allow others to view their documents, even those without the same application. With OpenDoc, we'll be supplying major new functionality with scriptable components, and OpenDoc will act as the platform for intelligent agents, speech, and three-dimensional graphics. The power of RISC technology will drive user technologies that were considered infeasible on desktop PCs, formerly at least, such as speech and 3D graphics. But we'll also extend our lead in graphics and multimedia with the introduction of QuickDraw GX. Typography, imaging enhancements, portable documents, desktop printer services all provide great customer benefits and will enable publishing vendors to provide high-end services at desktop prices. And with QuickTime 2.0, we've extended the industry-leading media architecture by providing larger video at faster frame rates up to 30 frames per second for quarter-screen images, support for professional video editing, music support, MPEG support, and networking enhancements, such as use of distributed networks and video servers to enable support for interactive media services, including interactive TV. Now, as I hope you all know by now, 1994 is the year that Apple moves to the next generation of personal computing. We aren't stopping with the introduction of Power Macintosh, where we took our operating system and all of your applications, but to an entirely new computer architecture with virtually no disruption to the customer. The term modernization has been bandied out quite a bit lately. Apple has always been a technology leader in the industry, but we want to provide technology as it enhances our customers' experience and productivity. Now, we offered some multitasking options. You think you can do it now?
I think we can.
He thinks we can.
It is.
You guys are an easy audience if you're clapping for that. Now, the next major release slated for 1995, we aim to deliver core system software features that some of you have requested for a long time now. We'll make significant strides in modernization with system-level memory protection and preemptive scheduling. With Copeland, users will be able to perform system tasks such as copying files, emptying trash, networking, and printing concurrently with all applications. OpenDoc will be built in, and we'll provide transport-independent protocols to make it easier for you to write applications that run on all of your customers' networks. Now, additionally, the OS will be increasingly native for even greater performance as it moves on to a new microkernel. Workspaces will be fully customizable, and active agents will go beyond Apple Guide's Show Me capability to Do It For Me assistance, and will continue to take the lead in graphics with 3D. Now, I've already talked about System 7.5, so let's take with some trepidation here, a short look at it. Let me ask yet another goat to come in, Brian Lawley, to show us around. Come on, Brian. It's your turn.
Well, gee, Dave.
It's really nice to see you, Brian.
I didn't know that was on my business card as my title. See, I told the OpenDoc guys to do this. You know, in order for your demo to work, you have to sort of do the right religious thing. So I know mine's going to work because I brought something special here. Let's see. Dave, would you like the Mountain Dew or the Jolt?
Give me the Jolt.
Okay.
Thanks.
And you see, we'll drink this beforehand, so if it doesn't work, at least we're wired.
Well, golly, Brian, System 7. Now, the next major steps in this move toward active assistance occur with System 7.5, as we just showed you, which is due this summer with intelligent interactive help. With QuickDraw GX, print management, as you can see, is significantly enhanced with desktop printers, and portable documents are a great boon to those who need them. OpenDoc will be supplying major new functionality with scriptable components, and OpenDoc will act as a platform for intelligent agents. Now, the term modernization has been bandied out quite a bit lately. Apple has always been a technology leader in the industry, but we want to provide technology as it enhances our customers' experience in productivity. Now, we offered some multitasking options as far back as the first Multifinder in 1987. And by the introduction of System 7 in 1991, we were offering a full 32-bit OS with 32-bit graphics. And shortly thereafter, we created multimedia services with QuickTime on both Macintosh and Windows. And by the way, ask our friends at Microsoft when Chicago will be a full 32-bit system. Now, we've been getting more modern ever since. Recent steps in modernization involve building collaboration services right into the system, going to RISC technology seamlessly and automation and customization with AppleScript and even at ease. Next steps will come with System 7.5's Thread Manager and then the OpenDoc component software architecture. Now, I've already talked about preemptive scheduling and memory protection in Copeland and the active agents and customizable workspaces to come. The Macintosh will continue to set the standard for personal computer operating systems. Let's talk for just a minute about the implications that Apple's system software strategy has for you, the developer. This year, Apple is delivering, or already has delivered, huge new gains for you to exploit in your products. Some of you have had a surprisingly easy time of moving your current applications to Power Macintosh and have enjoyed speed enhancements of 3, 5, or even 10 times your earlier products. As Power Macintosh becomes more pervasive, you can even think of how to use some of this revolutionary speed to offer new services, as we are with speech and with 3D graphics. System 7.5 makes fully available many of the system services, such as PowerTalk and QuickDraw GX, as well as Apple Guide, the Thread Manager, and Drag and Drop. And with new versions of HyperCard and AppleScript, you can provide automation and customization more easily than ever before. But there are additional opportunities that we think will change the course of the industry and create additional business opportunities for many of you. Power Macintosh will become pervasive in our product line, and we'll continue to push this technology incredibly early in its technology life cycle forward with even more speed, and we will support the emerging standard PCI expansion bus in our hardware and our software designs. OpenDoc provides an entirely new way to look at your business. You get a broader available market, you get the ability to focus on your own expertise and to leverage the expertise of other developers, and you'll have cost-side benefits to your business by modularizing your software for more efficient upgrades. We also believe that OpenDoc will bring a level of vertical solutions development that's never yet been seen for Macintosh and other platforms. These capabilities will again lead to new business opportunities. With increasing modernization and more performance for an increasingly native OS, you'll be able to provide more high-end applications and solutions that require next-generation OS architectures still only seen on server-type operating systems. We think this will be the most exciting WWDC ever held. It already has been for me, because we've got some great new offerings ready to be turned into outstanding new products by you. For years, we've relied on your ongoing loyalty to the traditional Mac advantage of ease of use, and you were supportive of our market share strategy. We've been thrilled with the success of Power Macintosh and have shown that we can work cooperatively with other industry leaders to push the industry forward. And now we want to work more with each of you so the technology leadership can be converted to leadership in the marketplace. The cost of failure would be stunning to all of us and to our customers. We simply will not let that happen. So thank you again for your time and for attending the defining event of the year for AppleSoft and for Apple Computer. We're here on the crest of a period which I think will turn this industry upside down, in which assumptions, market positions, and directions will all change. I hope my presentation has left you with at least a sense that Apple's strategy is a solid one and is designed to take advantage of those changes in the industry and technology in a way that expands all of our business and delivers the promise of our technologies to the world. Things are changing with blinding speed. I fully expect that a year from now I'll stand here in San Jose and describe a very different industry, an industry landscape that will be characterized by a much stronger market position for our platform and a shift in industry power towards Apple and Apple developers. The opportunity is clear. Working together, I have confidence that we'll all make the most of it. So thanks, and I look forward to speaking with a number of you over the course of the week. Have a great conference. Thanks very much.